Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Anita here, back with another video. If this is your first time on the channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button as well so I can know that you liked this video and I can also be motivated to create more content like this for you. Also, please don't forget to leave a comment just so I know what you think about this video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. My OGs, I see you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to check out my other videos. I'm leaving the links in the description box and also above, so please check it out before you watch this one or after you watch this one. All right, guys, I know I've been struggling with my consistency, but like I said, it is a struggle, okay? And first of all, I'd like to wish every one of my subscribers a happy Easter. I'm actually filming this video on Easter Sunday. Fingers crossed that it comes up on Easter Monday. So happy Easter Monday to you. All right, guys, so not to take so much of your time, today I'm answering your frequently asked questions about visa application, accommodation, and just generally relocation. So I've got some questions that some people have come to ask me in some of my previous videos in the comment section. Some people also reached out to me on Instagram and asked some of these questions. So in this video, I'm going to be answering all those questions as best as I can. And if you would like to know what questions I'm going to be answering and the answers I'm going to be giving about relocating and applying for your visa to study abroad, don't go anywhere. From a different continent, I packed a bag in confidence. I didn't come for compliments on So welcome back. I'm going to be answering 4 basic questions in today's video. The first question is it compulsory to write IELTS to apply for your visa? The second is, do I need to have 2,000 euros before I travel? Third question, do I have to get accommodation before I arrive? And the fourth question is, how do I get transportation from the airport when I arrive? All right, guys, so sit back and relax and also get your pen, your paper, your notebook, jot things down because I'm just going to be answering all these questions in as much details as I can. All right, so is it compulsory to write IELTS to apply? So my answer is yes and no. Yes, because for countries like Ireland or the UK, or basically like countries that are English speaking, they would expect that you have a good level of English. So they want to see that like by just looking at your IELTS results or your TOEFL results. So just to make it clear, there are a couple of exams that one can write to just show that you have English speaking competence, or like you can speak English, like you have a great level of competence in the English language. And those exams are IELTS, TOEFL, and Pearson's exam. These 3 exams are like the ones that are generally acceptable when you're applying to study or to work in an English speaking country. So now, why I said yes, it's important to write it, because like if you write it, you literally have nothing to lose. Like you can just write it even before you apply for your visa, just so in case they need it, like you're going to just be providing it. And then if they don't need it, then all well and good, like at least like you did it, right? So some universities will tell you not to bother with it, or some, it depends on the course of study, they would just say they don't really like, even if you just have basic, you know, level of English, it's okay, but for some it's not acceptable. So what I would basically advise is to check your university's website, check your college's website, and confirm if this exam is needed or not. And don't just stop there, like you also need to check the website that you're using to apply for your visa. Like check the immigration website of whatever country you're coming to, be it Ireland or the UK or whatever country you're going to, just so that you're not misled and you're doing things the right way. So you want to check the website of the school, and then the immigration website of whatever country you're going into, because some schools might not need it, but then you might need it when applying for your visa. I'd actually basically recommend that you do it, although I have some friends who didn't write it. And in one particular case that was really peculiar, a friend of mine told me she just wrote the Duolingo test. like, and that was during the whole COVID time. So I think at that point they understood that people couldn't, you know, register for exams and actually physically go and write these exams, and because they were not offering them online, so they were accepting Duolingo tests. So in that scenario, like, that was acceptable. She didn't have to write IELTS, she didn't have to write TOEFL, she didn't have to write Pearson's exam, and she was able to get in. She even like came on a full scholarship just like myself to UCD. Okay, second question, do I need to have 2,000 euros before I travel? Well, I'd say it's for your own good. A lot of people just think that, like, when you get to immigrations, they're going to ask you to bring out the money so they can see that you have the money that they told you to get. And that is not so, right? So, well, from my experience, no one stopped me to ask me how much I have with me, or asked me to declare the money I had with me, basically, and like, do you have up to this amount? Like, they put it as part of the requirements because they feel like you need this money to survive, at least for the time being, before you get an account. Because opening a bank account here is not the easiest thing. Like, it takes a while. It's not like it is in Nigeria. I'm saying Nigeria because this is where I'm from. You might be from another country and the system is like different there. But in Nigeria, you walk up to a bank, you say you want to open a bank account, and you're able to finish the whole process that day and even start making transactions that same day. So it's very possible in Nigeria. But here, the process is different. They go through a lot of security checks. Like, I remember, like, when I came post-COVID, you have to like book an appointment, and when it's your turn, then you have to go for your bank appointments, then submit the documents that they require, and then they will in turn send you a letter to whatever address that you put. Now, when you get this letter, you're like going to put in a code that they put. There's like a code on that letter that you would put on their website to show that this is truly where you reside in Ireland. So the process is just different, and after doing that, like, it doesn't mean you're going to get your card immediately. They would then have to send your card to you, which will take a while again, and then before you can start using, like, the process is really different. Even when they send the card to you, you have to wait for them to send a code for you to activate that card. So they do a lot of sending of stuff to your house when they want to confirm that this person is living in this particular place that they told us that they're living. So when you have that cash at hand, it helps you to avoid all that stress of having to create a bank account and start using it immediately. At least you have money that you can use on the go, and like, it's just good for you to have at least up to 1,000 euros. I would say nobody is forcing you to have 2,000 or whatever amount, but at least you should have up to 1,000 euros, so that for at least the first few weeks you can eat well, you can secure like some temporary accommodation, maybe in a hostel. So like, it's just really important that you take this into consideration. You don't also need to have too much money. If you maybe you have, say, 16 to 20,000 euros, you don't have to bring everything together. If you're not sure that it's safe, right, you can just have someone send the rest to you, and then you just keep some change, and then when you create that account, you can have the rest sent over to your account, and then you can start making transactions from there. So yeah, I would say it's not compulsory to have up to 2,000 euros, but at least you have up to 1,000 euros that you just use to sustain yourself. It's important. You don't want to be stranded in another man's country. Okay, take it from me. All right, the next question, do I have to get accommodation before I arrive? Well, if you can, yes, it's important to get accommodation before you arrive. I wasn't able to get permanent accommodation, and by accommodation, I don't mean permanent accommodation only. You can have temporary accommodation. You can book a hotel or a hostel that you can stay in. You can use websites like booking.com, very reliable. You would be able to even like get like a subsidized rate when you book on sites like this, you know. So it's good that you're arriving the airport and you have somewhere to go. You're not just stranded. You're not just, you know, wondering what you're going to do. You're just sitting at the airport crying your eyes out. Or if you have family here or friends here, you can ask if they can accommodate you or put you up for like a short amount of time. I mean, you don't want to inconvenience anyone, please. So like, you just make sure that you have accommodation before you come. It can be temporary, it can be permanent. And if you want to actually pay rent in a certain place, you don't just go and just deposit money or like send money to this person. No, you can ask someone here, if you have a friend here, to help you go for a viewing, because there's something they call viewings here, so where you actually go and see the place and pay money. Anyone asking you to just pay money without coming for a viewing is most definitely a scam. Don't fall for it, okay? Do not fall for it. But yes, it's good to secure accommodation before you come. A hostel, a hotel, or just somewhere to live is just really advisable. And if you'd like to find out more about like getting accommodation in Dublin, I recommend that you watch my video. I'm leaving the link in the description box and also here above, so you can just click that link and watch my recommendations to getting an apartment or like a house in Dublin. Getting a house, like renting a house, basically. I didn't say buying a house. I've not reached that stage yet, okay? So the last question I'm going to be answering on today's video is, how do I get transportation from the airport when I arrive? Very good question. Very, very important question that some people take for granted. You're coming to a country, you don't have anyone to pick you up, so you need to make sure that you have accommodation. So I'd say, like, if you are applying to a school, you can maybe email them and ask them if they have any provisions for transportation for new students arriving at the airport. For my own case, I'd say before I came, like, I signed up for this this thing where UCD was going to like help me get transportation, right? So once I arrived, I just had to say my name and my student number, and then they were able to book me a taxi, and like it was totally free, like 100% free. Mind you, in Dublin, taxi fares are very ridiculous, like really, really expensive. They're more expensive than other places I've been to. They're quite pricey. So if your school, your college is not giving you free transportation, I suggest that you budget at least 50 euros to book a taxi. When you get to the airport, you can download Bolt, or you can download Uber, or Free Now. Free Now is another like app that is used here. There's a couple of other ones, but like these are the like most popular ones. So Free Now, Uber, and Bolt. So like there's definitely going to be Wi-Fi at the airport, so don't worry about that. So just download the app and then put in your details, and then you have your cash already. So when you book that taxi, the driver comes to pick you up, and then you're able to pay with cash. I think like that's just going to sort it out for you. So make sure that you always have cash at hand. Don't just travel without money and expect, oh, when I come here I'll start working. You're just going to be stranded. Trust me, you don't want to start your first day or your first week in Ireland or in whatever country you arrive at, like, in a very difficult situation. You don't want to do that. So you have to be prepared. It's good to prepare in these instances. One last thing, I'd just like to say that you can get change. For example, if you're using the bus, it's either you use your Leap card, which is going to take a while before you get your Leap card. You either use your Leap card or you use some change. Like if you have coins, €1, 50 cents, €2 like coins, it's good to have those. So maybe like wherever you're changing money in your country, you can try and like get that change, so as you're coming, you're just using it to take the bus, and you'll be just fine. That's if you don't want to book a taxi. It's cheaper to take the bus, but I'd advise you just take a taxi so you just get to that exact location. Because if you're taking the bus might not stop you there. They might stop you somewhere where you have to reconnect, and a lot of people just get lost. And I see people struggle with Google Maps a lot. When I came, I was just like that. It took me a while to get used to Google Maps. So just make sure you just have at least 50 euros like kept aside for your taxi when you arrive the airport. And like, just to wrap this up, I would just say a lot of people are skeptical about emailing universities or like asking for help from the people they're supposed to actually ask. One thing I'll tell you is the requirements for visa sometimes change every year. So I can't come and tell you something now and say this is where you should take, this is where you should like use all the while you're applying for your visa. No, make sure you go to your school's website, make sure you check your immigration website as well, and email the school as much as possible. These people like to get asked questions, and they answer questions. They might not answer you as fast as you want, maybe because other people are asking questions like, yourself, because a lot of incoming students around that time of year, and also like students that are there that are also asking their own questions. But they will definitely respond to you. If you can call, I suggest you call, ask all your questions. But any piece of information given to you from your college is definitely valid. And if they say do this exam, make sure you do it. If they say do this, just do whatever they tell you, right? Ask your questions. Don't be scared. A lot of people have come to my Instagram to say they want to find out about blah blah blah. Does UCD blah 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 blah. I don't work with UCD. I'm just gonna put it out there. I was just awarded a scholarship that I'm like already done with because I'm done with my studies, but I do not work with UCD. So if you ask me a question like, does UCD accept this, or is UCD going to, most of the time I am not able to answer that question, and I'll tell you to email admissions because they are the ones who would give you the correct recommendations. So don't be scared to do your research online. Don't be scared to ask questions to the school authorities so that you're not misled. And I feel like with all of these, you will be able, like, you will be just fine when applying for your visa, or like when arriving here in Ireland or in whatever country that you are going to, whatever destination you are arriving at, right? So yeah, that would be all for today. I'm so happy I've answered these questions. If you have any more questions for me, please don't forget to leave it in the comments and I will be responding to them. And I can also make another video. I can make a part 2 of this video where I'm answering other questions that I have not been able to answer in this one. So that being said, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really encourages me that you guys subscribe and that you watch my videos to the end. Till the end. Okay, so if you found this video very helpful, please save and share to your friends, family, whoever you feel this video will be helpful to. And with that, we have come to the end of today's video. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. But till then, au revoir. Happy Easter, guys.